Most people think booms are the solution. The economy is growing, hiring is up, confidence is back. Every headline is about record highs. But somewhere inside that exact moment, the next recession is already being built. Not by accident, not by bad luck, by the same forces that created the boom itself. Take any boom from the last 5 decades. The pattern repeats with uncomfortable precision. Credit loosens, borrowing gets easy, businesses overexpand because the conditions feel permanent. A company opens a 3rd location when 2 were already fine. A developer starts 5 projects because financing is cheap. Someone refinances to pull equity because the value is real. None of this feels reckless in the moment. It feels logical because the conditions reward it. That's the mechanism that almost nobody talks about. Booms don't just grow the economy. They gradually misalign it. Resources get directed toward what's profitable right now, not toward what's sustainable long term. Labor moves to overheated sectors. Capital chases momentum. Risk appetite rises steadily but not visibly. The word for this is malinvestment. Capital going places it wouldn't go under normal conditions. And it's almost invisible until rates change, demand softens, or something external interrupts the story. One useful way to see it: imagine a city with almost no traffic for 2 years. People start taking longer routes, skipping highway planning, assuming smooth roads indefinitely. Then, a single lane closes and everything gridlocks. The gridlock isn't caused by the lane closure. It's caused by 2 years of behavior built on easy conditions. That's an economy entering a correction. The visible trigger is never really the cause. This part usually gets misread. People blame the crash on whatever headline appears at the top. A bank fails, rates rise, a currency drops. But those are symptoms showing up in sequence. The real cause assembled itself quietly during the boom years. There is also a confidence problem that almost nobody accounts for. During a boom, the people making decisions feel vindicated. The developer who started 5 projects got funded. The company that opened early locations is growing fast. The investor who bought in at the start is showing returns. Every signal says, keep going. Risk tolerance quietly inflates during boom years. Not because people become reckless, because the conditions keep proving them right. And then the conditions shift. Rates rise, credit tightens, demand softens slightly. None of these would normally cause a collapse. But the system has been stretched into a shape that assumes boom. Now it snaps back. The business with 5 projects can only fund 2. The investor who bought in late is down 30%. The homeowner who refinanced is sitting on a value gap. This is not a punishment, it is a correction. And corrections often overshoot in the other direction, which is the part that makes recessions feel personal. A useful contrast here. In a recession, people act like conditions will never improve. In a boom, people act like conditions will never end. Both are mistakes, and both are understandable. Here is the overlooked trade-off most people miss. Not all boom growth is equal. Some sectors grow because there is genuine underlying demand. Some sectors grow only because capital is cheap and optimism is high. When conditions tighten, those 2 categories separate fast. The first group slows, the second one collapses. Knowing which type of growth you are sitting in, whether in your job, your investments, your industry, is more useful than knowing that a recession is coming. Because a recession is always coming. The practical response is not to panic at every good quarter. Booms are not failures. They generate real progress. Infrastructure gets built, jobs get created, innovation gets funded. That would not have happened otherwise. But boom conditions reward behavior that recession conditions punish. So the question is not whether to participate. It is whether you are building in a way that survives the turn. Less leverage when conditions feel easiest. A clearer view of which of your income sources are cycle dependent. Some buffer, not because disaster is certain, but because the cycle is. The people who come out of recessions in reasonable shape are usually not the ones who predicted the timing. They are the ones who did not fully believe the boom was permanent. So ask yourself this: what in your current financial life only works if conditions stay exactly as they are?